Hello, kindergarten teachers. This is Greg and Karen, and we are going to go over the FastBridge assessment results with you because we have a great opportunity here at Parent Teacher Conferences to share all of our assessment results with parents.
On this individual benchmark report, you will have a copy for every one of your students. For those that came up in the high risk range in the fall, they should have already received a letter that was sent out to all kindergarten parents or beyond IEP. And this is just another opportunity to share those results with parents. So, to quickly help you interpret this graph, the dark pink or the rose colored band is the high risk range. And as you can see, come winter, the score is higher, and then by spring it is even higher. So that's why it looks kind of like a wave. The light pink range is that some risk range, and that is a little bit smaller, but still those students we are concerned about. And then once they are at or above that blue range, the blue wave, then they are at or above benchmark. So obviously for our goal is to have all of our students at benchmark by spring. For students, you will see that this blue dot on the far left for kindergarten is the student's score. And you can help parents understand what being in that blue means, that they are on track for the grade level expectations at this time of the year. And if they are not, then how you can help them understand what supports we already have in place to help them, knowing it's about exposure and instruction in kindergarten. And for those buildings that did the entire early reading composite, again for strategic monitoring, you may see a second blue dot here. If you only did letter sounds, which was the district expectation, you will just see this one dot on the far left side. Come winter and spring, then you will have the students' other scores show up and a line connecting them.
All right, Karen, so I'll be the parent, you be the teacher.
Okay.
And so at Parent Teacher Conferences, it might sound like something like this.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Child, and we are sharing with you the results of our district-wide screening when we looked at the early reading composite in FastBridge. What that does is it looks at all of the pre-reading skills from phonemic awareness and phonics and, for example, what your child knows in terms of letter names, letter sounds, how to orient a book. And so this is just a nice way to get a broad picture of their overall reading. And we use this to be able to look at growth throughout the year, and if a student needs some additional support, how we can get that for them.
Oh, thank you. So looking on there, how do I know how my child scored?
So this blue dot is your child's score, and depending on what color it lands in just helps us determine where they're at in terms compared to other students.
So they're in the blue, it looks like, but it says low risk.
Low risk meaning we are pretty confident that they are going to meet grade level expectations, and so we can also call that they are at benchmark or that they are performing as expected for this point of time in kindergarten.
So blue is good.
Blue is good.
Blue is good. All right, let's try another scenario. So this time, my child would be, looks like in the rose-colored band. So let's kind of.
So that means they're in the high risk range, and we know it's your child has just started kindergarten, so we are not saying that they are at a high risk of problems, but we know that they already are coming in without some of the other skills that other kindergartners have, and that's what we are just focusing on in our whole group instruction, in our small group instruction, through our foundational skills instructional routines, just to be able to give your child everything that they need so that they can catch up and be in that blue range by the end of the year is our goal. If through additional assessments we find that your child is still falling in this range, then we have additional supports that we will do some interventions or things that we can help your child continue to progress in their early reading skills.
So how worried do I need to be that they're in the high risk?
At this point, no, not at all, because we are just doing everything we need to do right now in kindergarten to make sure that your child is being set up for success to learn to read. And if we find that there isn't as much growth as necessary, then we will certainly be in communication with you should we be more concerned in the future.
So I received a letter in the mail saying that my child needed interventions of some sort. So what might those interventions be?
So in kindergarten, a lot of what we do is just more teacher-directed time. And so For example, during our small group reading time, I'll be working with one group, and then our reading coordinator or reading specialist will be working with a group of students on, phonics skills, for example, and how to put the sounds of the letters. And the assistant in our room is working with them on maybe letter names, and then another teacher is working with students on just reading to them, so that way they're not working independently, but all of the students are just getting additional adult teaching and support.
So I should feel pretty confident then my child's coming to school and they're getting all of the supports and interventions that they need.
Yes.
All right, so those are two scenarios that you might hear. With limited time of 20 minutes, this might be depending on the child, how much time you want to spend on this. So it could be as simple as, hey, they're in the blue, they're doing great, we're doing instructional routines. Here are some other reading things we're doing during the year. As you can see, the benchmark continues to grow, and you will see your child grow as well. Excuse me. The other one might be, if they are in that color, just to really reassure the parent that that their child will be receiving all the supports they need in the classroom, and if they are receiving additional interventions, what those might be. If you have questions about the reports that were sent to you, please email myself or Karen. Thanks.